What is going on, guys? And thank you so much for coming back to Cobra TV. And in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about No Man's Sky Online, what that can mean, and I want to get some of your responses down below. Recently, on a subcast that we had, we got into a discussion about a working economy inside No Man's Sky. We talked about all the problems and issues that it would have. Like right now, a lot of people in the game are billionaires with units. And then we talked about how maybe even Quicksilver was introduced to test it to see how it distributed, to test it to see how many exploits there were for Quicksilver, and that it could possibly be a hint to what they're going to be using inside No Man's Sky Online for a working economy. Because we talked about how we might have to start completely over if we were going to have a clean slate without the economy already being busted with everybody being billionaires. But if it was Quicksilver, we talked about how they were controlling it and that there would be no need to start completely over if they introduced a new economy such as Quicksilver. Then we talked about the problems about duping, how you would earn the Quicksilver, how you would share that Quicksilver between each other. So a lot of issues, a lot of great talking points in this podcast clip. So take a listen and let me know down below what you guys think about an economy inside No Man's Sky.
Well, Cobra, let me ask you. What do you think Sean Murray? What do you think he meant when he said common elements found in an online game?
Things that you would typically see, like
right. So what
community
kind of
building, like just okay. For an example, look at the game Boundless. That's my perfect example.
Right now,
it has multiple planets. It has portals. You could build hubs. You could have stores. It's got an economy, which is something I also wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool.
And it's when I think about Beyond, I think about what Boundless is doing. Boundless is a really great game, but people they turn away from it because it's got like a Minecrafty look to it.
Yeah, I love it though. I think it's an amazing,
it's a great game.
Beautiful game, yeah.
I think the number one mystery in my mind, in terms of the game, in terms of the Beyond update, is what you just mentioned, and that is the economy. Because this game is chock full of stuff. People collect stuff, people make stuff, people collect and make stuff to get more stuff. So the only thing that's missing in a multiplayer environment is the ability to buy, sell, and trade stuff. I sound like Lloyd and say anything I don't want to I don't want to buy, sell anything processed. But the thing is about an economy is that if they introduce a bona fide economy in this game, then they only have one of two options in my mind. The first option is to have a brand new economy in a separate online experience that's totally separate from your local sandbox experience. So part of me thinks if you're going to go online, we're all going to start from scratch. And if you want to play by yourself or in this glowing orb maximum of 4-player environment, you can do that. But if you want to have a larger, more social experience, you're going to have to go to this brand new ground zero online experience, this online galaxy, if you will, for No Man's Sky. If they don't go that route, if all the multiplayer facets and features and functionality are going to stay in today's current implementation, which is perhaps changed by having a larger lobby with more players, then they've got to fix the current economy. And the only way you can fix the current economy is to eliminate once and for all every single dupe glitch that currently exists. Because how can you attract all these new players to No Man's Sky in VR if 50% of the gaming community is literally literally billionaires?
Well, let me look at the flip side of that coin.
Sure.
Because a player-driven economy doesn't necessarily mean that the units that you currently own is going to be the currency that is demanded by players. An example would be that,
maybe Quicksilver.
Maybe
there you
Quicksilver,
go. Maybe that's why it was. Oh my God! Look how well they're controlling that. Wait! Back up. Hold up. Okay. Look at how well they are controlling Quicksilver. We can't earn it right now.
I just realized how wrong I am right now.
Wow. Now, look. Okay, guys, look. A lot of people were like, when Quicksilver came out, they're like, "Oh no, it's a No Man's Sky shark card," and you know, that crossed my mind too, right? But I'll be honest. But I think that the Quicksilver was invented, and I think the community, the way we earned them, was a test to see how well it distributed and how well we earned it, and if there were any exploits.
Yep.
That's
right?
I think that's very valid.
And I will say this:
I think they're doing it because there is going to be an economy in the game and beyond. That's why it's here.
And
okay,
remember,
I'm sorry,
you only earned it from community events.
Well, no,
community is multiplayer.
The one exploit I seen on that Quicksilver got nipped the first round.
That's
the
right.
Hex cores. Yeah, the Hex cores people were duping. The next event did not have Hex cores, and we ain't seen them since.
Yep.
True.
No, you can still get hex cores in the game.
Can you?
They're extremely rare, and actually they will break down into nanites.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they will? I threw them out.
Oh no, a hex core is good for like 100 or like it's a lot.
I think.
Oh God, I'm killing myself now.
Yeah, throw a hex core into a refiner and stand back. It's amazing.
Because I was killing a bunch on a glitch planet. I was killing those calcified star things just to finish off a killing on a mission. And my inventory was just getting full of them, and I went and just threw them all out.
Yeah, one hex core is good for 50 nanites. So 5 hex cores in a stack is 250 nanites.
Oh my God.
Wow. I'm really glad we had this conversation, because now that makes a lot of sense that there is a very big possibility we're going to have a working economy in No Man's Sky because of Quicksilver.
Maybe it's Quicksilver. Holy shitballs.
Dude. Yeah.
Woo! And another thing to touch on, Husker, what you said. See, I don't think they're going to have a different play mode, because they already have multiplayer integrated.
You're 100% right.
Single player game, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe the Quicksilver, I mean, to me, that would be the next natural progression, unless they throw us for a loop.
Right. And you know,
that would change a lot. So my thought is, there's a lot of things that we get in No Man's Sky that we collect that it ends up just becoming vendor trash. And actually, what happens a lot too is like repeat blueprints. If you go to a manufacturing facility and you collect a blueprint that you already own, it just exchanges over into currency and you just get credits for it. But how badass would it be to be that individual that goes and hunts blueprints and then sells those blueprints on your auction house to other players who are having a difficult time finding them?
Yeah.
Again, but you can dupe blueprints, so you could just find it once and sell it all day long if they don't address duping.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one of the reasons they held off on releasing all 3 of the expansions singular. Maybe they're working on doing all the glitches. I mean, you can't release 3 expansions at once without working really hard on it.
Oh, of course.
Something.
And like I was talking to you guys off air, you know, that they really got to do something, because a lot of people are billionaires, right? Because of just shenanigans, right? So it's like, how do you implement an economy like you were saying when people are already have exploited the economy? It wouldn't work. You'd have to create something new. And you're right. And they did. Quicksilver.
Yeah. I think another advantage is with the game itself. It's not really a MMO, you know, and it's not a shooter. It's not really a role-playing game. It's its own thing. So maybe they can get away with putting it all multiplayer, doing the economy, and maybe it might actually just work out just because of the way the game is played.
Quicksilver will work if they introduce elements that have no dependencies on what exists today. So the entire supply chain, in other words, what can create Quicksilver
Right.
and what you can get with Quicksilver are completely separate from what you can do today. That'll work.
I fully expect them to completely change all the ingredients again. They do it every time.
Oh my
Well,
god.
We're all gonna cry.
I hope not.
Yeah.
That's
We're
worse
all
than a
gonna
reset.
cry.
I'm gonna log in and have like 50 million technology modules today.
So here's
Now-
here's my concern, right? So let's say what we're discussing is true. Let's say this happens and Quicksilver becomes a new currency. Well, then that's going to make credits obsolete, because what's going to happen now is that people will go out, people who like to farm and mine, and they'll sell all their frostwork. They'll sell all.
That's a good
their,
point. Yeah, good point.
You know, and then they'll put like, you know, a stack of ferrite dust for like five Quicksilver. Well, people will start trying to buy that versus purchasing it off the store.
Now,
You know,
now
like the galactic trade market.
Zane's bringing up a good point in the chat, guys. They definitely need to close out the save editing for the PC players with these, because basically you can go into your save file and edit in God knows how much Quicksilver on the save editor.
Couldn't you do that with anything though? I mean, I don't know much about it, but I assume if you can edit Quicksilver, you can pretty much edit anything in your save file.
Well, then,
How
if
much-
that's true, then my next question would be: when you're looking at I think you'll be able to continue to play this game offline.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I agree.
So you won't be playing with other people. What if one of the online features is solely server based?
That was my initial point, was that the online feature is going to be a whole new experience, a whole new galaxy, a whole new everything. But Quicksilver could negate that. If Quicksilver is the ends, then the means have to be basically completely separate from the game today. Like, there's nothing you can make, buy, or sell that exists today that will result in Quicksilver.
What if, and on the server point, what if they're using the current multiplayer method as a test to say, hey, if you want to play multiplayer, join this server of, you know, a larger amount of people.
That's what I think. I mean, just like if you look at Star Wars: The Old Republic,
With the same character, though. With the same character, though.
There was basically PvP and PvE.
Can you move your character in between?
No.
See,
It's
that's
either or.
that's what I'm going with. I'm thinking, because you can move your character in other people's games, which is an instance, maybe that was a test for a larger multiplayer instance.
Well, I thought you could move your character in Star Wars Galaxy, but it was a paid feature. You paid so much money, and you could transfer your character over.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think there was a time when you could do that. You know, it's funny. The longer I think about this, the more I think I'm wrong and that we're all wrong. Only because when Eric and I started this,
we're all going to be wrong.
We always, yeah.
when we first started the Black Hole Suns project, you know, we thought we were not hot shit, but we just thought we were making really good progress. And then mistake after mistake, and every assumption we made about the game was just wrong. And I told him, I'm like, dude, just picture right now, there's someone from Hello Games reading our subreddit, and we're wrong about everything. And they were just watching this.
And laughing at us.
And laughing at us as we are just openly discussing how the galaxy works, and we're wrong about every single aspect.